Question: when exactly was the Archuleta installation constructed? Answer: I heard Dulce was started in 1937 to 38 by the Army engineers, enlarged over the years. Most recent work was completed 1965 to 66 to connect tunnels to the Page, Arizona base, site of one of the older underground facilities. The Four Corners base is called Perica. Most of the Native Americans living in that area are aware of that base and could tell us about the underground life forms that frequently are spotted near those communities, Bigfoot, etc. Question: by what means was the installation constructed? Are you familiar with the alleged developments made by the Rand Corporation of a highly efficient bore or mole machine capable of melting rock using nuclear-powered wolfram graphite-tipped drill cones? Answer: according to several senior maintenance workers, part of it was blasted by nuclear devices in the 60s. There are sections, like the shuttle tunnels, that were formed by an advanced tunnel machine that leaves the tunnel walls smooth. Question: are there other sites tied into the shuttle network other than those which you mentioned, and if so, where are the entrances? Answer: where? Everywhere! They crisscross the world as an endless subterranean highway, like a freeway, except this one is underground. The subterranean highway in America is like a freeway, except it's underground. That highway depends on electric motors for the paved roads, and it is for limited travel. There is another style of transit for freight and for passengers that is for rapid travel. That worldwide network is called the subglobal system. It has checkpoints at each country entry. There are shuttle tubes that shoot the trains at incredible speeds using a maglev and vacuum method. They travel at a speed that excels the speed of sound. Part of your question involves the location of entrances to that base. The easiest way to answer is to say every state in the USA has them. Frequently, the entrances are camouflaged as sand quarries or mining operations. Other complex portals are found on military bases. New Mexico and Arizona have the largest amounts of entrances, followed by California, Montana, Idaho, Colorado, Pennsylvania, Kansas, Arkansas, and Missouri. Of all the states, Florida and North Dakota have the least amount of entrances. Wyoming has a road that opens directly into the subterranean freeway. That road is no longer in use but could be reactivated if they decided to do so with minimal cost. It's located near Brooks Lake. Question: are there any bases in the state of Utah? Have you heard anything about an alleged underground installation within the Wasatch Mountains? Answer: Salt Lake, Lake Powell area, Dark Canyon, Dugway Grounds, Modena, Vernal, all have exits there. Others too. Question: what are the dimensions of the Dulce facility? Answer: there are 1,700 paved miles of roads under Dulce and northern New Mexico. Towards Los Alamos is another 800 miles of tunnels. The base is still growing. Question: does the Mount Archuleta shuttle system connect with a shuttle system which allegedly radiates from Mount Shasta in Northern California? Answer: yes, Mount Shasta is a major site of alien, elder race, reptilian race, human meetings. Beginning Cleveland, Grover, every president in U.S. history have visited Talos City. Truman was supposed to have visited the lower realms as a high archon on Earth. He was supposed to have met the king of the world there and gave him the keys to the USA. Truman received assurance to new high-tech knowledge and victory over all enemies on Earth. He then was introduced to Samatsa and Koch, aliens from Boots and Typhon, both reptilian kings or ambassadors. Truman updated the 100 Treaty and requested magnetic advance, space knowledge, and experiments. Koch agreed. Samatsa partially agreed. He exchanged hostages for genetic experiments and magnetic advance, but vetoed space and beam weaponry. Question: by whom was the Dulce installation originally constructed? Answer: Nature started the caverns. The Draco used the caverns and tunnels for centuries. Later, through Rand Corporation plans, it was enlarged repeatedly. The original caverns included ice caves and sulfur springs that the aliens found perfect for their needs. The Dulce caverns rival Carlsbad caverns in size. Question: others have suggested that some of the entities below Dulce are not of extraterrestrial origin, and that they're actually descended from saurian or reptiloid beings such as the velociraptors or Stenonychosaurus equalis, a serpentine race or races similar to that hinted at in the 3rd chapter of the book of Genesis? Answer: yes, some reptoids are native to this planet. The ruling caste of aliens are reptilian. The beige or white beings are called the Draco. Other reptilian beings are green and some are brown. They were an ancient race on Earth living underground. It may have been one of the draconian beings that tempted Eve in the Garden of Eden. Reptoids rightly consider themselves native Terrans. Perhaps they are the ones we call the fallen angels. Maybe not. Either way, we are considered the squatters on Earth. Question: did you ever talk to any of the aliens at the base? Answer: since I was the senior security technician at that base, I had to communicate with them on a daily basis. If there were any problems that involved security or video cameras, I was the one they called. It was the reptilian working caste that usually did the physical labor in the lower levels at Dulce. Decisions involving that caste were usually made by the White Draco. When human workers caused problems for the working caste, the reptoids went to the White Draconian boss, and the Draco called me. At times, it felt like it was a never-ending problem. Question: can you give me more information on the reptilian race? What do they do on the 6th level? Answer: the worker caste does the daily chores, mopping the latex floors, cleaning the cages, bringing food to the hungry people and other species. It is their job to formulate the proper mixture of the Type 1 and Type 2 beings that the Draco race has created. The working caste work at the labs as well as at the computer banks. Basically speaking, the reptilian races are active at all levels at the Dulce base. There are several different races of aliens that work on the east section of Level 6. That section is commonly called the Alien Section. The Draco are the undisputed masters of the 5, 6, 7 levels. The humans are second in command of those levels. Question: the name Nightmare Hall is descriptive, but surely there was a regular name. What was it called in the manuals? Answer: in the manuals, it was called the Vivarium. It describes Dulce Base as a secured facility for tending bioforms of all types. In their report, it is retold as a private subterranean bioterminal park with accommodations for animals, fish, fowl, reptile, and mankind. After seeing this park, the name Nightmare Hall is far more accurate than the manual. The accommodations for the inmates at Nightmare Hall fall short of the pretty pictures the manual describes. Question: where do the little gray aliens fit in? Answer: they work for and are controlled by the Draco. There are other gray-skinned beings that are not in league with the Draco. Question: how are the human workers stopped from telling everything about Dulce? Answer: implants, fear threats to harm the families, EM control, also reprogramming with ELF, extremely low frequency, and drugs are the most common methods to encourage the workers not to divulge the location or daily routine. Question: did you notice any involvement of high-level Freemasons, Rosicrucians, or Jesuits within the underground installation and or with the aliens? Answer: yes, I did, but that is a loaded question, and I won't comment further. I'm not a Mason or a member of any other secret fraternal group. There is one organization I am a member of. That group is commonly called the Central Unit. It is a pleasure to tell you that I am a member of the Subgalactic League of Costa Rica. Question: is there any truth to the allegations that the CIA aliens have established bases on the moon and also Mars? Answer: I've heard that too, but I haven't seen proof with my own eyes. The aliens do allegedly have bases on several moons of Jupiter and Saturn. The CIA operates in other countries, but I've never heard they operate on other planets. Question: if you can, give us some information on the upcoming war with the aliens. When does it start? Do you recommend going underground? Answer: the war has already begun. To start, they use weather control devices that can cripple a city in hours. Storms, flood, and drought. With those few things, they can bring any country to their knees in a hurry. Yes, I do recommend going underground. Question: female abductees report being inseminated by aliens. Are they trying to hybridize our species? Answer: yes, they're breeding slave warriors for the upcoming war with the alien race. The serpentine races are in orbit around Earth, Venus, and Mars. Question: could you shed some light on the type of human the aliens are looking for when they abduct? Answer: I can tell you that the most common are petite women in their early 20s or early 30s, dark-haired boys between 5 to 9, small to medium-sized men in their mid-20s to mid-40s. But let me stress that there are all types of people being held against their will in the Dulce base. There are tall, heavy men and women, teenagers, elderly folks, and very young girls in the cages and the vats. I only mention the most common age size are the small young men and petite women. The boys are favored because at that age, their bodies are rapidly growing, and their atomic material is adaptable in the transfer chamber. The young small women are frequently very fertile. The men are used for sperm. I have no idea why they prefer small to average-sized men. Question: what is the prevalent human race at the Dulce base? I'm curious about both the human workers and the inmates. Answer: the human workforce is made of people from every nation on the surface world. The one thing they share is that they all speak English. If you're asking if there are white, black, red, yellow, and brown skin color, again, I'll have to say that there is no prevalent race there. As for inmates, I could see all races there. From what I could see, it looked like there were more white people, but again, I saw a constant flow of different people. Many, I think, were only there for a few hours. Question: please explain the method they use to identify each inmate. Answer: no one has a name. When first brought to this facility, they were issued one large number. Usually that code has a mixture of numbers and letters. They showed the place, how, and by who, followed by the time, age, sex, and finally the personal number. For example, it might look like this: NVLV-00-00-M-00-00-00-00-00. Question: you have been through so much and yet keep fighting. What is your biggest fear? Answer: that the general public will forget the trapped innocent people in the despicable place and will ignore the hundreds of children, women, and men.